Hello everyone, welcome to the next video of C programming. In the previous video, you have seen why operator is required, and also we have discussed one of the operator, that is your arithmetic operator. In this video, we'll discuss few more operators. Okay, so let us understand first what is relational operator. Now the name, from the name itself, it suggests it will find the relationship between two operands. Okay, so that means it will compare two values and it will determine what is the relationship between those two values. And after comparison, it will return a Boolean value. Boolean value means either it will return true or it will false based on the comparison result. So if we'll try to understand what are the different types of relational operators, we have equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal, or less than or equal. And these are all the different types of symbols. We have to take care one thing here. In normal mathematics, we used to write greater than equal to like this. But in computer, we don't have the facility to provide this particular symbol. So you have to write greater than and then equal. Similarly for less than and equal. You have to take care all these things while writing the program in pen and paper. Okay. So if we'll try to understand how these operators works, let us take one example. Suppose number 1 is 25 and number 2 is 7. Okay. So if I'll apply equal to operation, like you are asking the question 25 equal 7 means both the values are equal or not. That means obviously not. Not means it will return false. And once it will return false, it will return the value of the expression as 0, because for false in C programming it will be represented as 0, and for true the value will be represented as 1. Similarly, if I'll apply the second one, 25 is not equal to 7 means true, and if it is true it will return the value 1. 25 greater than 7, obviously it will return true and the value it will return 1. 25 less than 7, it will return the boolean value false and the value as 0. 25 greater than equal to 7, obviously again it is true and it will return 1. 25 less than equal to 7, no, it will return false and the value it will return as 0. Okay, so currently, we have not studied that much that we can write the program for relational operator, but in our next slide, we'll write down, and in this video, we'll write down. Okay, but this is what actually the meaning of relational operator. You have to compare two values by using relational operators, and as per the comparison result, it will return a Boolean value, either true or false. So, based on true, it will return 1. Based on false, it will return the value 0. Now coming to the next one, logical operator. Logical operator, why it is required? Now the most important task is it is used to combine more than one relational operators. Means in the previous slide we have seen how relational operator will use, but here the logical operators work is it will combine more than one relational operation through relational operators. Okay, and this also returns true or false depending upon the condition. Whether it is true, it will return 1. If it is false, it will return 0. So there are three different types of logical operators are available. One is your logical AND, that is represented by this symbol. Logical OR will be represented with this symbol. And finally, the logical NOT operator. Okay, so how it is being allowed? This particular one is, and this is also, both are known as your binary operators, but this logical NOT is known as your unary operator. Okay, so if I'll try to write, let us understand one thing. Okay, I need to find number 1 equal to 25, number 2 equal to 17, number 3 equal to 85. Okay, I need to find number 3 is greater or not. As a human being, if I'll see this one, then definitely I'll say number 3 is greater. But if I'll apply this logical AND operator, I'll write down number 3 greater than number 1 and number 3 greater than number 2. In simple English, if I'll represent what I'll write, number 3 greater than number 1 and number 3 greater than number 2. So if I'll say someone how I'll know number 3 is greater, someone will describe me number 3 is greater than number 1 and number 3 is greater than number 2. If I'll represent through logic or through syntax, I have to write down like this. Okay, number 3 greater than number 1 and number 3 greater than number 2. From this example, if you'll realize, then definitely this relational operator will return true. This relational operator will return true. That means this will return 1, this will return 1. 1 and 1 will always return true. That means if both the expressions are true, then this logical AND expression will return true. Okay, so that means the condition for logical AND is all has to be true if the total expression needs to be true. If one of them is false, then logical AND will return false for the entire expression. Okay, but that is not true in case of your logical OR. In logical OR, we have to write down in the same way, like number 3 greater than number 2 or number 3 greater than number 1. Okay, suppose this will return true, then it will return 1. But suppose this will return false, then it will return 0. 1 or 0 will return 1. That means the logical OR will return true if one of the expression is true. But the difference in logical AND is all must be true, then only the entire expression will be true. But in logical OR, only one expression needs to be true, then the entire expression will be true. Clear? But if we need to evaluate the logical OR as false, then all must be false, then only the logical OR will return false. Okay, like logical AND all must be true. All means all expression must be true, then it will return true. But in logical all must be false, then it will return false. In this case, any one expression is false, then the entire expression is false. In logical OR, if one expression is true, then the entire expression will be true. That is what the difference between your logical and logical OR. Okay, logical NOT, we have already discussed that this is one unary operator. That means not of positive will be negative and not of negative will be positive. That means not of true will be false, not of false will be true. So the logical NOT operator will only convert the symbol, means the true value will be converted to false, false value will be converted to true. Okay, this is what the use of my logical operator. Also, we'll see the example in our example. Okay, now coming to assignment operator. This particular operator we have used from the beginning, because without assignment operator you cannot provide any value. Okay, so whenever you are assigning the value, the value will be assigned from right to left. That means we are writing integer number equal to 5. That means the right hand side value is assigned to the left hand side variable. Okay, that's why you are using equal to symbol. But what is the meaning of this plus equal, minus equal, multiplication equal? Now suppose there is an expression number equal to number plus 5. That means we are doing the operation on a variable and we are assigning the updated value to the same variable. Then this particular expression I can write number plus equal to 5. Number plus equal to 5 means number equal to number plus 5. Similarly, if I'll write number multiplication equal to 7, then what I'll interpret? I'll interpret number equal to number into 7. Okay, and the same case I can apply for all the symbols. Okay, so if you want, we can see through one example. Okay, so let us write one simple example of assignment operator. We have to write down the basic requirements first of all. Let us understand first कि before doing the operation we are printing, and after doing the operation again one more time we are printing. So number equal to 10 here. So number equal to 10 before doing the operation and number equal to 30 after doing the operation. Okay. Now the same expression, let us make it comment line and we'll write down number plus equal to 20. Let's check whether it's working or not. Okay, number equal to 30. So that means any number of operator we can reuse by using the assignment operator if you are doing the operation on the same variable and assigning the result to the same variable. This is what the condition. Okay. So this is how you will use the assignment operator. Now this is much more important operator, conditional operator. Conditional operator means what? Now you have to provide some condition and based on the condition, the result will be evaluated. Okay, so that means it will use to evaluate relational operators because you need to give the condition means you have to provide a relationship between two operands. Okay, and it will return the condition will be evaluated as a true or it will return false. So if it will return true, then before colon and after this question mark, whatever is there, you will write down by using the true statement. So let us understand this through example. Okay. We will write one more example. So I'll write down the syntax first. Like you have to write down the condition. You will provide one condition. Okay. Then you are asking the question. You understand in like this. You are providing a condition. You are asking the question. If this condition is true, then after question mark and before colon, whatever the code has been written, that is going to be executed. If the condition is false, after colon, whatever the code you are writing, that particular section will execute. So that means it depends on the condition, if it is true or if it is false. If it is true, then true section will execute. If it is false, then false section will execute. Okay, so that means you have to provide a condition, and you are providing the condition means you are finding the relationship between two operands. Okay. So let us write down the program. Find the smallest number between two values using conditional operator. Okay. So if you're finding the smallest number between two variables, that means I have to declare two numbers first of all. Okay. I have to take input for those two numbers. Done. We have taken the numbers. Now we'll apply conditional operator. So what is the condition? You have to find the smallest between two numbers. So you are asking number one less than number two, and you are asking the question. Okay. If true, then I'll write on printf smallest is percentage d. Who is the smallest? The number one. This is my true section. And in the false section, if the condition will be false, that means number two will be smallest, so it will come after colon. Done. This is my true section before colon, and this is my false section after colon. Okay. So it depends what number I am providing. So let us execute this one. It is asking for two values or 45 and 76. Now check 45 less than 76. True. True means the true section will execute. But if I give one more value where the second number is smaller, (45) 23. Now see, smallest is 23. That means 45 less than 23, the condition is false. False means it will return 0. 0 means after colon, whatever the statement we have written, that is going to be executed. Okay. So this is what the use of my conditional operator. But one thing I can do, instead of writing this statement twice, I can write only once. How? Now, let us understand if number 1 less than number 2. If this is true, that means which number is small? Number 1. So I'll write down number 1 in the true section. And if number 1 less than number 2 is false, that means number 2 is smaller. So I'll write down number 2 in the false section. And whatever the value, either number 1 or number 2, anyone is small, that is going to be assigned to the small variable by using assignment operator. This particular section will be evaluated. Either number 1 will be smaller or number 2 will be smaller. Anyone is smaller, that is going to be assigned to the small variable. So here, instead of writing twice, I will write down only once. Okay, smallest is small, because we have understood anyone is smaller, that is already assigned to the small variable. Okay, so let us check whether it's working or not. Asking for two values. Now see, smallest is 33. Okay, so this is how you can use the conditional operator in your program. Okay, so through this particular video, we have understood how the relational operator we can provide, how the logical operator you can provide, how the conditional operator you can provide. And in the conditional operator, we are providing the example by using the relational operator. Okay, so on this particular mechanism of relational operator and conditional operator, we will write some few more programs in our coming videos. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching this video.